Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Hunting Mustache Man. It is the web review. And of course, welcome to. I don't have applause today, guys. I'm on mobile. Long story. Got a family member who's sick, where I usually stream at. It's the only desk in the place that also has a bed. So it's a guest room. But anyway, Mr. Clifton 3D, I'll just go. "Eh."
Hey, guten Abend zusammen. Glad to be here. I hope everyone is doing well, and welcome to everyone in the chat.
And of course, always Admiral Anna, who is flying airplanes. I don't know if she's going to get to do a lot of flying today.
Uh, hi everyone. Good to be here. No, I am not flying an airplane. I just actually got back a couple of minutes ago, so I didn't have the time to change my avatar. That is how disorganized we are on the show. But great to see everyone, and yeah, it was a cool episode.
Well, I got to be honest. I'm always thankful when the stream just starts. So we've been having some issues with notifications, and this stream actually started like almost instantly, to where there's been like a lag between StreamYard and YouTube. So anyway, long story short, thank you everybody for being here. For everybody lurking in the chat, you guys are the best. Thank you on all the platforms. Of course, Clifton says hi, and Anna says something that I don't know how to say.
It's basically a hello, comrades.
All right. One day, you know what? I'll learn that. That might be one of my goals, to learn how to say it. Clifton says, welcome everyone. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. That's true. Whatever platform you're on, including Twitch. And Kathleen says, hey, Cliff, Ryan, and everyone. Appreciate you being here. And so this was a little bit more. Yes. So what did everybody think about this episode? You think it was a little more interesting than the last one, personally?
I thought it was partially a little more interesting, but I did have a few issues with some of the things they brought up. In particular, the photograph that was supposedly supposed to be Hitler.
Yes.
Yeah, and yeah, some unquestionable things that they exclaimed when last episode they said, yeah, it's impossible that Hitler was on that.
That's a good point. Anna, any kind of opening thoughts as we jump into it?
Regarding the photograph, I actually, when I saw that segment, I was like, thank you very much. What's his name? Not Bob Bear, the other guy, the former Langley CIA dude.
John Sensich?
Yeah, Sensich, that's right. Thank you. When he actually pointed certain things out about first verifying, checking the source, and actually doing some tests, and then actually releasing, showing the photograph. I was like, thank you, finally. You know, some duty of care to the audience.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I'm not complaining about what they did in this episode. Just the portrayal of this picture in previous episodes is like, this is the proof that they needed the entire time. It's like, yeah, no, it's not.
Yeah.
No, and we haven't really dug into that photograph until since this last episode, since the very first episode. So I mean, they've kind of left it hanging a little bit. But let's see if I can stream this from an old computer and do it successfully.
On Hunting Hitler.
In May 1945, Adolf Hitler may have landed in San
Andy?
Sebastian, Spain.
What's up, Andy?
Hey, Andy.
If you're an escaping Nazi, this would be a good place to come, clearly.
And the team has found a communications center.
In a matter of moments, that information would have been sent to any U-boat or plane. Piece of cake.
The team in Argentina established a couple miles from the Nazi compound in Misiones. There was an active hunt for Hitler.
Your father, did he ever mention any senior Nazi that he may have met?
Bormann.
Bormann.
Michael Bormann.
Martin Bormann. is the second most important man in the Nazi world. This is history changing.
Bormann is sort of the key for Hitler's fate.
Martin Bormann will take us one step closer to Adolf Hitler.
The thing is
He said, "Hello." In English. I kid. So again, we've had some big accusations. They will circle back to most of those. But this episode definitely clears up some things about so much rain. Oh, y'all getting rain?
Please send it here. Please send it to Europe. We are boiling.
Are you guys boiling? Really?
Yeah, it's like tropical weather.
Oh, that's why I left Florida.
Not quite that humid here, but yeah. My apartment is right under the roof, so I get sun the entire day. It's nice.
Yeah.
And you guys don't have AC, do you?
No.
I have like last year I broke down and decided, you know what, I can't deal with this, so I got like one of those mobile AC units.
Like a window unit?
No, like I can actually I put the pipe out of the window, but I can move my unit around the apartment. But
probably the best $200 you spent, right?
If it was only $200, it was $300 plus the electricity bill that adds up. That's a lot.
Yeah, I think it's just with the amount of if you kind of look at it, you know, from a financial perspective, it's not worth it because the majority of the year it's not as hot and humid. So there's no point investing into. But then again, you know, if you really don't really like hot weather like myself, maybe it is worth it because I am dying here. Like literally, that's why I'm being so lethargic. And I just had a massive Sunday roast meal as well. So I'm like, please forgive me if I fall asleep or something.
I am not a fan of summertime because of the heat. I'm big. I'm a big guy, got a lot of body heat, and I'm always warm. Even in the wintertime, I will sleep with the window cracked. It could be 36 degrees outside, and I'll have the window cracked open. It's not a joke.
Anything over 71 degrees Fahrenheit is just too hot.
Anything over like 63 for me is too hot. I'm in like it could be like 57 degrees out, and I'll be in shorts and a t-shirt. So, anyway, weather aside, we're kind of past the recap here. Let's jump straight into it.
Okay, John, we got our two teams. We got one San Sebastian, and we've got the team in Argentina looking into the compound.
21-year CIA veteran Bob Baer and war crimes investigator Dr. John Sensich are overseeing a dual-pronged investigation. While the European team investigates how Hitler could have moved from Germany to San Sebastian in northern Spain, they focus in on the South American leg of their investigation, where they have uncovered a potential piece of forensic evidence from a small town in Misiones, Argentina, just 50 miles from a reported Nazi militarized complex in the jungle.
The investigative team, they were able to uncover this photograph that is ostensibly one of Adolf Hitler from 1960.
I just would like to highlight this. That's been mostly my experiences. So yeah, like, I think women just get cold. They just get more cold. And Anna updated her thing. It's she uses AI, which yeah, I don't. She comes with the most creative.
What? It's topical. It's not like it doesn't make any sense.
I know it makes
sense.
It does make sense. Anna,
no, I'm in a cave. I'm in a cave and I'm crouching.
Okay. Also, Clifton, if you don't want to, normally I'd be on camera with you, dude, but I can't be right now. So if you don't want to be on camera, you.
No, I'm. Yeah, I don't like using my phone when I'm on camera. So now I'm going to be on camera. Thank you. I was just, yeah. there.
Yeah, that's why it says in the description on mobile, because pretty much the live stream, every live stream I've been a part of, they're like, "Oh, you sound weird." I'm like, I'm just gonna put in the description. Why I sound like shit? Well, you can hit the
Yeah.
Nice.
Also, an awesome hat, by the way.
Yeah.
Thank you. So basically, my parents just got back from Moscow, and I asked my dad. I said, because it was Victory Day this week, and I said, "Can you get me a pilotka," which is basically like what the soldiers normal, not admirals or anything, just your absolute normal soldiers used to wear. And he got me an actual, not the Soviet one, but like the actual Russian military that they wear with a whole bunch of different Soviet pins. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm in 1945. Not
I think it still works. I like it. I wish I had one.
Oh, thank you.
I got I have my grandfather's old 1957 unit photo. It's in black and white, which is really cool. I also have the flag off his casket. My grandmother obviously had that, and then when she died, she wanted me to have it because I was the only one in my family that was in the military other than my grandfather. So it's a pretty cool piece of memorabilia that usually hang on the wall. So with my military stuff, so it's kind of cool to see the contrast. But yeah, no, awesome hat, awesome cover, as we would say in the military. So Anna must be armed because she's wearing it inside. At least for the American military, that's how it works. So, but anyway,
I wish I could get one of those hats from Germany, but I don't think they would allow me to wear something like that on YouTube.
No, I'd be like, bye, Clifton. See you in 10 years. Well,
yeah.
1945.
How you, commissary?
I think probably wear the current one because don't they wear berets now?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I think they learned from the U.S. military. I remember going, so whenever I went on installation, even when I was on patrol, as an MP, they'd stop and, check our ID cards and stuff like that, and they would always salute us. And when I first got there, I was like, why are they saluting us? And it's like, it's out of respect for what took place in World War II, for the fact that the U.S. came to liberate the German people. And I was like, really? That's what I was told. I don't know if that's correct. I probably should Google it. But yeah, every time we came on base in uniform, they saluted us. Even if you're like an E1, a nobody.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I just found out a couple of weeks ago that Germany, I guess this happened last year, I believe, is they decided that Germany now gets a Veterans Day.
Oh, that's cool. They should.
Yeah, they didn't have one if you're in the States and you go to Walmart or something and you see a soldier, you say thank you for your service. That's kind of a normal thing that I grew up with. If it's still that way today, I don't know. But like in Germany, you don't do that. Like you don't even if you're in a train and the Bundeswehr, they take the train back home because that's what they get paid for. If you see a soldier on the train, like nobody will stand up and let them sit or let them put their huge luggage that they have to carry with them anywhere, just don't care.
Wow, that's
kind of sad.
Right.
Yeah, it's messed up.
Yep.
No, they definitely still do that. If people see my VA ID card, they're always like, "Oh, thank you for your service," and it's just out of them being kind. But my response is always thank you. But it was my pleasure. I'm glad I did it because I'm very glad I did it. It was something that at the time, I'm kind of an ideologically driven person, kind of kind of how my family was raised, and I did it because my grandfather did it, and I did it for my family. I love my country, quite frankly, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I think Germany needs to get back to loving itself. I think that's okay.
Yeah, but like I said in previous episodes, like you can't even put out the German flag unless the national football team is playing. You
Yeah,
can't be proud of Germany, sadly, because the
That's
moment you say I'm proud of my country, yeah, that's problematic.
I think it's okay to be proud of your country. Let's just not go into let's leave out the goose stepping and in the burning book. Yes, the U.S. military definitely caught a lot of crap during Vietnam. Also, at the same time, that was not the soldiers' fault. That was bad politicians, and that seems to be something that every country can understand is bad politicians.
Potential proof positive that the guy got to Argentina. But we get something like a picture, my antenna go up. Like, uh-oh, got to look into this. A photo of Hitler in 1960, I approach that with complete skepticism. Till we can confirm, get some sort of confirmation on this picture, it would be irresponsible to show it on air.
It certainly looks like it
But
could be
didn't
Adolf
they
Hitler,
show it on
but
previous
we have
episodes?
to be really careful with this. We have great responsibility.
No, they didn't.
I thought I
The-
remember
the
seeing the photo.
preview.
I didn't
Yeah,
realize I was. Oops.
I think
Um,
the preview was maybe like they already knew and did the investigation, because when they release these episodes, they don't just film them like one by one.
Yeah.
It's they chop them into parts. So I think they knew, but from what I remember, it was just like a very distant thing that they showed. They didn't
yeah,
like
it
shoot into it.
Yeah, no, Anna's 100% right because I remember saying that. Hey, I don't remember them ever showing the photo of what he looked like, and I think they did it in the preview, but they didn't do it in the episode because the episode aired first, and then after once they went back and released everything, um, if that makes sense, or even released it on DVD. I don't know. But yeah, no, they didn't. They don't show it during the actual episode. It was only just that one preview for a
Yeah.
second. Maybe it's pretty quick.
Yeah, no, it was pretty quick, but it's like maybe they should have left that out at that point. I don't know.
Maybe,
Whatever.
or maybe the individual that they got it from was like, hey, since it's not, I don't have a problem showing it. I don't know. I don't. Editor has ADD.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, or it just might be, who knows.
But again, like going back to what I was saying before, I think it's really good that because expecting from what we saw in the first season with the History Channel, it was just like, come on, guys, this is getting ridiculous. And now at least here, it's like, yes, you're making sense. Thank you. Like from a journalistic point of view, or from documentarians, you have to use your brain.
Yeah. Again, it's the History Channel. This is it's a little sensationalized, obviously, because you want to keep people coming back. So I'm sure they took a few creative liberties. Oh no! Why did my internet drop on the computer?
Uh-oh.
It just got a big surge, which is weird. Hold on.
Yeah.
You guys still hearing me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, it's back. That was weird. Sorry, guys. I'm not on my usual setup, so this is going to be all sorts of wonky.
All right.
Investigative undertaking.
My major problem with the photo is we just know so little about this.
Just because the photograph is found in Argentina doesn't mean that's where the photograph was taken. We don't know what it is. It's our job to get to the bottom of this particular photograph. So I've ordered a forensic analysis of the photograph, also to undertake the facial recognition.
Over the last 72 hours, Animetrics Technologies has analyzed the potential photograph of Adolf Hitler in Argentina after World War II. Their state-of-the-art facial recognition software is used by law enforcement and military agencies around the world.
They're scanning the images.
Also, I want to add to this. Even though computers at the time were very, very good, they are probably tenfold better what we have today. And now we're even leaning into the fact that we're having AI, which is going to be probably 30 times better. So that being said, it's still a flawed system. Let's just say this: at one time, the polygraph was considered to be a very, very excellent tool, but they're like 70% active. I'm sorry, accurate. Excuse me.
Yeah.
It's one reason they're not allowed in court. You can't hook somebody up to a polygraph test and figure out if they're lying. You can't present that as evidence in court, and a lot of people don't know that.
I wish
So
somebody would polygraph me. I want to see if I could pass it with flying colors and like cheat the machine.
give me a little bit of time, and I might know somebody who could do it.
Could be my birthday present in a couple
Yeah.
of months. Thank
I
you.
know somebody for their birthday that will be hooked up to the polygraph test. And I guarantee the response will be like going, okay, why?
Yeah, I find it fast. I think it's more of a technique that's used during interrogation to make somebody feel uncomfortable or to gauge their reaction. Because if it's
Yeah.
like somebody, like if your child goes missing and one of the parents is like, yeah, like do everything that's possible to help me find my child, like polygraph me, like take my DNA, everything, just help me find my kid. And then if a parent does the opposite and is like, no, I'm going to lawyer up, I'm not going to take a polygraph test, don't DNA test me. Nope.
Yeah, it's something that you do see in true crime dramas, and it is something that is used. You can ask somebody to take a polygraph test and be like, "Hey, we just love to rule you out. It's a way to kind of cement your alibi in said case. Would you mind doing it?" And a lot of people are like, "Yes, I'll do it. I want to find out. I'm missing my kid, or like my wife is missing. I want to find her." Um, and that's a way for the cops to definitely rule you out. I mean, and then there are people who are like going, "Oh, well, I'm not going to do that," or they say they'll do it and then they cancel, and then they say they'll do it again and they cancel, and it's like, as somebody who's been hooked up to an actual polygraph test before, the most uncomfortable part is the blood pressure cuff. Once they inflate it, it stays inflated the whole entire time while they're asking you questions.
That would be really, yeah.
Yeah, it is inadmissible in court. It's only used as a tool of investigation, not as evidence.
Yeah. My blood pressure goes up pretty easily. I would be scared that even if I'm telling the truth, it would come out as I'm lying. It's like,
yeah,
no, I really am Clifton 3D. No, it's really me.
it's like I said, having the sensor on your finger, you have one around your chest to monitor your breathing. They have a couple other sensors on you, but the blood pressure cuff is the worst part. So imagine getting your blood pressure taken and they just leave it inflated for like 2 minutes at a time. Like during the test, my arm actually fell asleep, and I was like, so during between this question and this question, my arm fell asleep, and he's like, no, I saw that. He's like, yeah, your body kind of reacted to it, and he's like, it was in between questions. I was like, okay, just wanted to let you know, because yeah, it sucks. But anyway, that's my weird.
And Andy, he would sign XOXO.
That's true. Let's add my laugh button. Andy Pickle says, I think it is inadmissible for two reasons. One is that lawyers become unnecessary. The other is because of the Fifth Amendment. It is actually inadmissible in court because it is only 70% accurate, and you can fool it. That is correct. You can fool it. I'm not going to tell you how, but you can fool it.
It's kind of like with the whole like handwriting analysis, those sort of like things that are important but are considered to be pseudo scientific, or like with speech analysts, or like a statement analysts that listen to interrogations or people's interviews. Also, like there is interesting stuff there. There is something to it, but it's not like DNA or fingerprint evidence.
Yeah, 100%. The voice analyzers too for telling if you're telling the truth or being deceitful, it's basically like a voice analysis polygraph. They are even less accurate than an actual polygraph test.
Yeah.
So many agencies don't use them even when hiring candidates, because a polygraph is still the most solid way to just get an idea if you might be being deceitful. But anyway, sorry, just in case anybody wants to know.
There's an algorithm, and it gives a
That is so
percentage of
scary
what
looking.
are
That is like
odds.
something out of a
But
horror
the trade
film.
images
Yeah.
They have shared the results of their examination with the team.
What we're able to learn from undertaking that type of forensic examination, as well as our own reconnaissance, our own independent research, we determined that this is not a photograph of Adolf Hitler. As someone who's done a lot of work, forensic work with photographs, I can tell you this wasn't Adolf Hitler that was taken in the 1960s. That's okay. That's what we do. We had to investigate it. We did investigate it. We move on from there.
All I can do is deal with the evidence as it comes across my desk. It's like I'm sitting back at Langley, right, trying to figure out what's going on.
Now, we don't know the origin of this photograph, but on the surface, it absolutely looks like an aged Adolf Hitler. So I completely understand how if you were in a small town in Argentina and all these sightings Hitler are happening all around the world, and you come across this photo, of course you'd think it was Hitler. But at the end of the day, we have to separate the good evidence from the bad.
Okay, John, let's go to Spain, San Sebastian.
Bob shifts focus to the European leg of their investigation. In San Sebastian, Spain, they have uncovered evidence that suggests high-ranking Nazis were fleeing to the area after World War II, including a close associate of Adolf Hitler arriving by plane in May 1945 after being spotted by the Führer's side just 1 day earlier.
If you're flying out of Nazi Germany in May 45, you're not going to just, land at some airport anywhere in the world hoping you'll be okay. You got to go someplace where you got a network.
This is a place that had the infrastructure, the personnel, the communication equipment. If Hitler had lived, the answer to the question as to whether or not San Sebastian would have been a place for him to arrive by plane is unquestionably yes. The next question is, well, where did he go from there?
I think it's I think it'd be more of a waypoint than a place of like going, yeah, let's go there. Especially because again, the individual that arrived there crashed the airplane in the ocean, and that airplane was a wreck. So now, if there's a nearby airfield or something like that, it would make more sense, especially with that radio tower. But we need to kind of again jump forward, I think, a little bit, and I think that all of us would kind of agree too. Again, they're kind of sensationalizing a bit.
Yeah,
Definitely. Yeah, no, like in this discussion where they bring up like last week in the episode, they said like it's impossible that Hitler was on that plane, crashed, he would have died, whatever. And in this episode, he goes and says it's unquestionable that.
Sorry, I have a Messerschmitt flying around. I need to kill it.
All right.
All of a sudden,
use a Spitfire.
Yeah, all of a sudden you hear on Anna's camera. You're like, what the hell is that? At least she's not in Missouri.
What's wrong with Missouri?
The mosquitoes are the size of helicopters.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I stationed for basic training and AIT. I was there for 6.5 months.
In Missouri?
In Missouri.
Where at?
Fort Leonard Wood. So you fly to St. Louis and you drive about 2 hours outside of the city.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they call it Fort Lost in the Woods. So military police is one of those only MOSs from the Army that you actually do similar to what the Marines do. You stay in one location for the whole entire time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Most other jobs you do basic training, then you're like going, congratulations, you're a soldier. You get to go somewhere else and you live in a better facilities. You get better food and you get treated better. Yeah, no, that's not how mine was. 6.5 months of being a peon. Treated, up every day at 4:30 a.m. Yeah, so they would wake us up every single day at 4:30 a.m. On Sundays, we got to sleep until 6:30.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Luxury. Nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's one thing that my MOS. It's one reason that like whenever I meet a fellow Marine, I was like, door kicker, huh? He's like, oh, what'd you do? I was like, I was military police. Everybody hated me. He's like, oh, okay. He's like, yeah, I've talked to my friend about it. But anyway, yeah. But yeah, no, talking about Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. Yeah, the mosquitoes are the size of a helicopter. They're huge. They're
Yeah, that's why you don't leave water sitting outside for more than a day.
What do you mean, leave water?
If you leave water outside and it gets kind of grungy and stuff like that, oh yeah, you're gonna have mosquitoes there.
Yep.
Oh really?
Oh yeah,
Yep.
it's like a breeding spot for them then.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah, they like gross, dirty, bacteria-infested water. Eddie Pickle says, I wonder if they have any medical records to identify them by like dental
Yeah,
records.
they do.
They do.
Yeah.
Like did Adolf have a tramp stamp? I don't think that was a thing until the 90s.
Yeah, I doubt that he had one.
Yeah.
Been pure skinned.
But if he did have one, he'd be like going, no Jews allowed here. It was terrible. I'm not proud of that rule. I'm not proud
No,
of
but
that.
they
So let's take a look.
during. Sorry, real quick to go back to the dental stuff. His dentist, I forgot his name. Not Brown. That was his pilot. His dentist, whatever, who treated him, and Ava Brown, and some other high-ranking officials. He basically, during the Nuremberg trials, they went to him to ask him, because all of the records were destroyed, but for memory, he had to basically recreate all the work he ever did on Hitler's teeth.
Yeah, I actually think there was a documentary about that, wasn't there?
Yeah, because that's one of the ways they were trying to identify the bodies, the skeletons, and the skulls with the teeth that they found next to the place of burial, next to the Fuhrer bunker, to see if it actually was the Fuhrer.
Interesting. Yeah, no, I could have
And yeah, they were saying that they don't match. Like they're the work that he actually, because again, from what I remember, which is factual, he only had 3 of his actual bottom 3 teeth, which were his. Everything else was bridges.
That's probably from doing that meth.
Well, I mean, he was homeless he was homeless for a very long time after the before the first. I think it was before, not after, but whatever. Like he used to like sleep on benches, so I don't think he had any money to, feed himself or get a roof over his head, let alone get any toothpaste.
And he liked those bonbons.
Oh yeah, he did.
He did like the bonbons, and he was also in prisons for a while. That's where he wrote Mein Kampf.
Yeah,
that was probably the best living he had up until that point.
I mean, and it wouldn't be surprising, to be honest, that most people who are imprisoned after they get out. What's up, Squash?
Hey.
I'm Specimen. You should say hi to Anna and Clifton too, dude. They're actually not camera, by the way.
We are not Specimen, thank God. But yes.
Anna's like, I don't want to know that. I probably wouldn't be surprised that after he was incarcerated, he was probably homeless for a while, because that's usually, it happens a lot more than you'd think.
I think it was before. It's when he ran away from home because his father wanted him to be like the like a basically administrative like desk working person,
and he wanted to be an artist.
Yeah, and you can imagine like his father is like, quit this gay with an H, GHEY shit. You got to be a real man. You got to get the typewriter out, and the ink out, and fill all these forms in.
He says, Anna, greetings. And then he says, Clifton.
Oh.
Hi.
Sasquatch.
Hi, James.
What's up? What's up, man?
Hey, Jason.
Oh man, that's funny. That's just quick. I don't know. I don't know if Squatch would want to see me right now. I don't have my fantastic beard. He likes beard. He's
What
got
do
a
you
pretty.
mean? What happened to your beard?
I shaved it off. Remember for the thing?
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I have not been watching anybody's streams really.
That's okay.
Yeah, so I did not see your face.
I don't like it. So the beard's coming screaming back as fast as possible.
Look in the database and see if we can find some intelligence that intersects Hitler and San Sebastian, or just Spain in general.
No.
Hitler,
No.
Spain, enter.
Here we go. This is a German document, special order prepared by Heinrich Müller, chief of the Gestapo. 20 April 1945, subject, Führer's special trip to Barcelona. The members of the Führer's entourage are the Führer, Reichsleiter, Bormann. There's something going on here.
You know, what's unique about this document, it's an internal German military order issued 10 days before Adolf Hitler is alleged to have committed suicide. It's an incredible find.
For me, this is a huge piece of evidence. The head of the Gestapo was clearly planning an exfiltration of Hitler and his closest advisors. Internal documents belong to a government. It's something very secret. So I think right through April, the whole system is geared to get Hitler out.
We've always theorized that if Bormann indeed escaped Berlin, and if Hitler did commit suicide on April 30th, 1945, perhaps they would be together. This document does show the intent to the people, and that intent is for the Fuhrer and Martin Bormann to flee to Barcelona together.
You're right. And what is in Barcelona? Is this even credible that you would send Hitler there?
Let's go to Barcelona and find out what type of evidence we might be able to generate in relation to this Fuhrer's special trip.
Oh, I think absolutely.
Man, that's pretty.
Barcelona! We love you. You're a great city. I love
So-
Barcelona. Oh.
That's actually kind of what I was going to say. That if you're Portuguese, you talk Barcelona.
No, because Spanish people say Barcelona. Not like Mexicans who say Barcelona.
Yeah. You know, I once heard a comedian describe Portuguese as being the let's just say more LGBTQ pronunciation of Spanish because it's got a little bit of a lisp.
Right, yeah.
It's okay. He's Canadian, and his parents are descended from India, so it's fine. He's very diverse. You know, shout out to Russell Peters, one of my favorite comedians. He's hilarious. But yeah, he made that joke. I've never been to Spain. I think that'd be incredible. Never been to Italy. I made it to Belgium and France and you know in Germany and so just I missed a couple places along the way that I wish I could have went. But 3 years is not that long to live in Europe to be able to see everything. A lot to see.
Yeah, I mean, I live in Europe and I still haven't seen a lot of places in Europe.
A lot of people make fun of
I've seen a lot of places far away from where I'm located. But it's so easy to get like on the Eurostar and just go across the channel, you know, like I've been to Germany, France, Italy, Spain, but like other little places now. Like not Luxembourg or Poland, or really want to go to Poland.
That's actually one thing I actually like about hanging out with you guys on the stream is because all of you have lived other places around the world, kind of like I have. Most people I know have not done that. They don't know what it's like to live in another country. They don't know what it's like to visit another country.
I mean, if I just look at my family in the States, they don't really know how it is to live outside of the county. The count. No, I've got the county itself. It's like, why should I leave the county? I have everything here that I need. Now, like, it's not quite that bad, but it's like, yeah, like definitely never out of the state.
Clifton,
You know, a couple of counties over, stuff like that. You know, you'd go to Branson or the Ozarks or stuff like that. But yeah.
Wow, wait.
Wowza.
That's quite the declaration, Wade.
For being kind. Okay. Absolutely. I do the best I can. Trust me. I have my Anna for being creative.
Oh, thank you.
We're going into detail. I like it.
For Clifton, it's just like Clifton.
And Clifton for the awesome beard.
Yes.
Oh,
I'll take that one.
You're the only one here with a beard.
Oh man. Andy Pickle says, "Well, I've been to Spain, but I've never been to Oklahoma." All right.
Oh gosh, yeah.
I've been to Oklahoma, but I've never been to Spain. I'll trade you.
But yeah, Barcelona is a very beautiful city and a lot of fun, and the people are great, and there's so much history to it. Beautiful architecture. Yeah, I love it.
I have to ask, Anna, do you speak any Spanish?
I can understand Spanish. Like, again, you know, I went to an international school with a whole bunch of teenage girls. So I had to learn how to communicate in other languages in order to, you know, understand if they're actually talking about me.
Okay. Well, I mean, that is kind of true.
No, I don't, I'm not fluent, but like, you know, just basic stuff I can understand.
You might be the most impressive person on this panel. Seriously, that's not a joke. The fact that you can speak and understand other languages, multiple other languages. Wade says, Anna, Clifton, Ryan, I'm famous now. You're Oh, that's right. So shout out to Wade. We were doing it was our show, right?
It was Friday Night Rumble.
Yeah, it was Friday Night Royal Rumble, and Wade retweeted it, and Carrie Smith from you know, who is classically known as formerly a far leftist, she retweeted it, which was awesome. So that was awesome of her. You know, Wade was like, it was kind of shocked, but I was like, Wade, you're a good guy. That's why. Like, you're no, that's fine. Anna's off Twitter, and she's probably better for it. I think maybe both of us need to take a cue on that one. So.
And hey, CLS.
Wait, CLS showed up?
Yes.
Where?
Just up above Jason's.
Oh, not bad, dude. Damn, buddy.
I miss you too. Oh my goodness, CLS. Hello.
Yeah, I was like, my bad. And well, Clifton is smart and has a great beard. Oh, even better. Don't pull a Tyler. Don't ever pull a Tyler and and shave your beard. Like Tyler got so much crap for me when he shaved his beard because he's called Tyler the Redbeard, and he shaved, and I was like, what the hell?
I think Jason is saying that I should shave my head, not my beard. I can't do that in Germany.
Oh
that
no,
that would not be a good thing. No.
Yeah.
The poets I show up to Clifton's house, be like going, "Oh, Mr. Clifton."
Yeah, I had the creepo looking for me once before. I don't need to look for me again.
Sheila says, "I always show up." You're like a bad penny. I'll take my joke. Actually, that's from Indiana Jones. I have used that over the years, though. I'm not the bad penny. I always turn up. All right, so let's get here.
I'm really intrigued to know what the German setup was here.
World War II historian James Holland and U.S. Army reconnaissance expert Mike Simpson arrive in Barcelona.
Talking about every aspect, there's a lot to like about Barcelona. Location-wise, population center-wise, infrastructure.
The team meets with David Rodriguez, a local expert on Nazi movement in Spain at the Gran Teatre del Liceu, originally built in 1847.
I'm really intrigued to know why we're in this.
Yes, Ciela.
CLS, it's literally in my name, Ryan on mobile. Come on, man.
I mean, it's to be honest, it's all because he shaved his beard.
No, it's really not. So my nephew. So again, this weekend was a celebration for my dad's birthday and Mother's Day. My nephew played a game in the very, very frigid cold. He plays baseball. Kid hits like it's going out of style. He can hit home runs at 14, which is crazy. Played a game in the cold. He got sick. I think he gave it to my mom, who was visiting, and she's from a warm climate in Arizona, and she meant to leave today, and she's still here. But I hope she's feeling better. She's sleeping it off. CLS, I have done panels on mobile, and I sounded better than you. Well, you know what? What are you, what, cookie?
I'll take cookies.
Okay, so I'm on Bluetooth headphones that are good for listening to music and phone calls. If I take the Bluetooth headphones off and I do just iPhone audio, I sound like I have a lisp for a little bit, and I sound a little this. Like, it's been proven in the past.
Yeah, it's actually kind of unnerving. But just play into it. You're on a U-boat or something. The connection is bad. You like tore off a pipe or something, and you're like talking into the pipe, and we're all listening.
I'm in a P-51 Mustang, and quite frankly, the radio's just not that good. How about that? He said, yes, I would like it. Shut up, CLS. I hate you.
Particular theatre.
En el Gran Teatro del Liceo, en Barcelona, Franco y sus secuaces hacen que este sea el lugar en el que confluya la alta aristocracia, la gente de dinero y aquellos.
And Germans affiliated with the Nazi Party saying that they came here to this. CLS says, "Happy birthday, Anna." Oh, so it's your birthday.
I guess. Thank you. I didn't know.
I mean, it was your birthday back in like what, June? Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
What? We're
What
in
happened?
May.
Oh, okay, sorry. Wade says I miss Sailor Anna. Well, she's Army Anna right now.
I was just replying to that in chat, Wade. I'm not sure what the autocorrect. Great. But thank you anyway. Yes, my birthday is soon, but it's not today. Mother's Day. Yes. Happy birthday to everybody. And I think Clifton, you said as well, it's quite interesting that in Germany and the US, Mother's Day aligns, whereas in the UK we have it in March.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does the UK have a Father's Day?
No. Yes. Sorry, I was thinking about something else. I was thinking about Veterans Day. But yes, we do have a Father's Day.
Wait, the UK doesn't have a Veterans Day?
No, we do have a Veterans Day. We actually talked about it on Star Trek with Jack Tarlad. It was on one of those days that we were streaming Star Trek, and it was Veterans Day.
Oh, okay.
Back in October.
Okay. I've slept 3 times since then.
Okay. Now, see, Germany doesn't have an official Father's Day. German fathers decided to make Christ's Ascension. That was last week, right? Make that Father's Day, where they just basically don't want to be fathers on that day. They like to leave, go hiking in the forest and drinking beer and getting drunk. So drunk.
Cool. That sounds cool. If you would actually have an actual Father's Day, but then also like dudes just going off like for a day and just doing weird stuff in the woods.
Yeah. Well, they get so drunk that they don't know how to get back home, and people
So
have to pick them up.
I was gonna say they ultimately went out for cigarettes and never came back.
No, not quite that.
All right. So JV says, Anna,
Hey,
I
JV.
left Priya. Boy, that just won't die. My YouTube girlfriend is so cool. She cold like a sucker in winter. Cliff is pretty dope. Ryan, he just gay.
Hi,
Hey,
JV.
JV. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, it's good to see you, dude. We didn't get a chance to see you last weekend. So yeah. CLS says the UK. What the frag?
The
Wow.
UK sucks. Well, right now it really does suck because it's so warm and I am really like just melting. I actually got a freaking sunburn. What the dude? I didn't even notice this. Oh my god. No.
Okay. Well, nobody said me. Are you sure you're not just flush because it's hot? She's off camera, and your mic.
Yeah. So.
Okay. This is actually good.
No, it really is. I didn't even notice. I just looked at myself in the camera. No, yeah, because I was wearing like a thingy, and this is the only area that was. So yeah. Oh my god, no, bad UK. You suck.
Wade says, Anna, did you see the Northern Light?
No, I did not, but Clifton did.
Yeah, we could see them where I live too.
Well, you couldn't see them with your bare eye. You had to actually take a picture with the camera.
Yeah. Jason says,
Yeah.
Light. White people.
Now add red hair to that whiteness.
Yeah.
You're gonna get burned bad.
Yeah. If you know my friend Michael, who we streamed with once, he actually had a heat stroke.
Oh wow, that's not good.
Yeah, I mean he's ginger and he's like super pale, just like Clifton. So
I've had them a few times as well. They're not fun.
no.
Yeah,
I remember the first year I went back to the States in 09. Well, it would have been 2010 when we went to the state fair in Missouri. I was out in the sun for half an hour. I couldn't go on. I was done.
Did you put sunscreen on, dude?
Yes, 80%.
Wow.
Yeah. And still, it was like 2 weeks after that, I was still putting aloe vera lotion gel stuff on my skin.
I'm sorry, I don't know why that's funny.
A little funny.
Disgusting. I hate it. Hey, Jacob.
Andy says, hard to avoid the sun out in the desert. JV? Yeah, it really is. And of course, JV says that she got all flustered when I show up blushing. I agree, Anna. Embrace the paste. That's funny. I mean, he does wear white makeup, so I guess you definitely got to embrace the paste.
Yeah, that's
No, dude, if you were in Missouri, you got roasted. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was like 110 out and 100% humidity, so it's fun.
Yeah, that's a recipe for you get cooked like a baked potato. Oh, baked potatoes are so good. Anyway, we're not doing next week when I'm back on camera. Again, we're gonna talk a little more about food. I got a lovely salsa from Texas that is very, 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 very hot, and I'm going to eat it live on camera for this show because again, it's a part of American culture that we like to torture ourselves with food. I don't think anywhere else in the world that people eat stuff that is so spicy that it's miserable just to eat it.
Have you had currywurst? They like
No,
to
I
put
haven't.
on competitions on how hot you can make it.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. I'll just say this: the salsa is made from the Carolina Reaper.
Okay, so how many buckets are we supposed to supply you with? Just so.
No buckets. No
Okay.
buckets.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, at the same time, you're not on bucket detail ever again.
Plastic spread out everywhere.
Taylor is forever on bucket detail. JV's making lasagna. Dude, where's my phone call? I'll come over for some lasagna. What the hell, man? Anyway, all right, we gotta get back to the episode. We kind of went off on a fun tangent for a while here.
Los alemanes afiliados al partido nazi. Tras la guerra, aproximadamente en Barcelona había una población de 20.000 alemanes. 20.000. Y de esos 20.000, 500 ciudadanos colaboraran como espías.
20,000 Germans. And he said they know for a fact that at least 500 of them were known and active spies of the Nazis.
500.
Right. Okay. So I think we're in the right place.
Seems clear that yes, there was definitely organization here in Barcelona. There were 500 spies and leading Nazis. You know, that's an awful lot. Clearly, something big was going on here. Oh, yeah, look at this.
Scroll. Oh, I want to show this.
Yeah.
This place is crazy. Look at this.
Yeah, very beautiful theater.
It's gorgeous. Okay, I have to admit.
Any other theater in the United Kingdom or in Russia or in Germany, even beautiful theaters there.
Yeah, but we don't do that in the United States anymore. I think we tore down most of those. I think they were prominent in New York because New York was a big place for the immigrants to come. What's up, Zach? He says, Mustache Man always in the last place you look. That's true.
Yeah. Hey, Zax. Great to see you.
I don't think we have that many prominent theaters like that anymore.
I mean, if you're looking like in the middle of the country, it's probably harder to find them. Like you'll find some pretty decent looking post Civil War, probably.
Yeah.
You'll find some good ones, but yeah, nothing that fancy in the middle of the United States.
Well, I even think New York City too is because New York is.
No, because New York City had a big thing, a competition between like the old generation and the new one coming in, with the whole like during the Gilded Age, where they were competing with the building better theaters, and so that there is quite a lot of stuff there from like the late 19th century. But I mean, like, for instance, if you take some of the Russian theaters that go back to like the 16th, or like some of the English ones, or French or German or Austrian, I mean, that is really just the building itself, and the feeling you get is you're inside of a work of art. And like it just gives you a different feeling. You just feel very cultural.
I'd be in awe, and I would love to see that, especially something that old. Andy says Antebellum. That's a theater. I will look it up. I'm assuming it is. I will definitely look that up.
Aquí, afiliados al partido nazi, se situaban en las butacas más caras.
Where we're looking down, the high-ranking Nazis that would be here, this is where you would see them. Specifically, they would have the honored seats up front. This was a very permissive environment for those Nazi expats living here at that time. And we're talking about a population of 20,000, 10 times what we were talking about up in San Sebastian. If this is what's going on above the water, it's anybody's guess what's going on below the surface.
El Salón de los Espejos.
Whew. Gosh, it's stunning, isn't it? Absolutely stunning.
Espectacular. Aquí nunca se ocultaban aquellos alemanes engalanados con sus uniformes.
He says, so in this room, the Germans never hid themselves. They'd be in full Nazi military uniform and regalia.
Militares.
And look, I'm gonna be honest. Heinous things were done, but man, They their military uniforms were polished before polished was a thing. I think the best looking uniforms on the planet are probably the U.S. Army's from World War II. They call them pinks and greens, but the thing is, though, is that they still had kind of like a bit of ruggedness to them, to where the Nazis, when they were, their uniforms were just literally polished from head to toe.
Yeah, exactly, Zax. Hugo Boss. Yep.
Yep. Yep. And they still make top-notch shoes, top-notch clothing, everything.
Oh yeah. Perfumes and things, and yeah, but I agree with you. I think that's one thing that it's like it kind of icks me to say it because of what it's associated with, but all of the men always just looked very crisp, very clean, with the haircuts and everything. I think Hitler did put a lot of emphasis in creating a public image of himself and also of the army and the SS and the people who were, surrounding him. And there is something to that, but at the same time, like, I don't know. Whenever I see a Nazi uniform, I get like, ugh.
Yeah, they were so crisp and perfect to the point of almost insanity. And yes, JB says so. If you're going to be heinous, do it with style. It's kind of how they
Right?
did it. Um, Again, I would say kind of the army. It's been made famous in a lot of movies, right? You have like kind of like the brownish kind of tannish slacks. You got the brown shoes, and you got the brown jacket, and of course, and it looked like a very much a people's military uniform, right? I think it appealed probably it's one of the most iconic in the world, but at the same time, on the opposite end, the most elite uniform military wise I could probably ever think of would be from World War II and the Nazis. And it's because it's
Yeah.
kind of close. It's so perfect, but in the sense it's so heinous in what they did. I don't know. It's weird. It's kind of creepy. I agree with Anna. It's very creepy.
Yeah. It is
Were there
creepy,
any
but
really
a lot of stuff
notable
came out of it,
Nazi-
right?
Yes. Yeah. A lot
Right.
of. Yeah. Cole Klink Hogan.
Yep.
Yep.
I love that show.
Hogan's Heroes.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. It's a very recognizable uniform as a sign of good, and just to see again, it's kind of worn a little sloppily. The headdress kind of canted a lot of time. It just it's so weird to see the opposites of the same war.
Nazis that came here to Barcelona?
Visitantes formales. Que Martin Bormann.
Bormann
Bormann pretendía crear una
aimed to create an
infraestructura que
infrastructure
protegiese
to
a
protect
los
some of the
oficiales
opposites.
nazis. Bormann's plan was to set up infrastructure to support fleeing Nazi officials.
Also, shout out to this guy who speaks Spanish throughout the whole thing. He's an excellent interpreter, even though they explain it.
Should the Third Reich lose the war? Las organizaciones clandestinas de los nazis apoyaron, financiaron, ayudaron a los hombres de Hitler.
They were prepared to support them. They were prepared to support Hitler. They had prepared false documentation. And Franco had even designated members of his own guard that would work in a security capacity.
Right. So let me just get this absolutely clear. Before the end of the war, Bormann had set up a plan for Hitler's escape.
See, the more we peel back the layers, the more this is looking like exactly what we're looking for. Martin Bormann was scouting out locations for a rat line to get the Fuhrer out of Germany and into a safe haven. He says on the 10th of August, 1944, many wealthy German expats, as well as many Nazi officials, under the supervision of Martin Bormann, met to plan the formation of Die Spinne.
Die Spinne. Literally, the translation in German is the spider. And it was an escape and evasion network. It was absolutely the top of the Nazi chain. There were lots of rumors and stories about it. That's a massive eye-opener. This is adding up very nicely for me.
So, Anna, I kind of want to actually know what you think, because obviously the rat lines have been something that has been around for several decades. What do you kind of think about this?
About what, Borman making an escape route?
Yeah, just in general.
Well, again, like I still believe 97% that Borman actually did perish on that night of their attempted escape from the Führer bunker, trying to get out of Berlin. So I think those were his remains. But yeah, again, like going back to, there were so many different routes, whatever you want to call it, through Spain, Italy, some of the other places that the series looks into later, talking of making it to South America, which obviously people like Eichmann or Mengele or some other prominent Nazi figures did use to escape. So yeah, it makes perfect sense. But with this whole theater place where they used to meet up, that really reminds me of Inglorious Bastards, where they had the same kind of concept but in Paris. And they're all like meeting up. And I mean, this is still during the war, so it would make sense. But can you imagine kind of like after the war or during the end of the war, them all coming together in this like lavish party scene, thing where they're all still wearing their uniforms, and then it's like always like something out of the movies. So I kind of do believe that it did happen, because they did like the fine things in life. And so meeting somewhere like that does make sense. If it was, 20,000 of them, I mean, that's kind of like a lot of people living in Barcelona, which isn't really a massive city, like compared to New York or Moscow or even Berlin. So that's a lot of people in one city.
True. Real quick, and then I'm going to ask Clifton. JV says, have a great day, folks. Check us out tomorrow. House of the Dragon, Season 1, Episode 7. Clifton, stay dope. Brian, be less gay. Never going to happen. And Anna, you the best. Less than 3 years. Toodles!
Toodles!
Take care, JV.
I tell you what, it's just not a live stream without JV saying toodles at the end. I don't know how that became a thing. It just did. All right. So, and real quick, Wade, you're good, dude. Enjoy the game, man. Have some fun. Just comment when you can. Like, it's all good, buddy.
Take care.
Ain't no shame in your game.
Yeah.
Andy says, like an evil underground railroad.
Yeah.
Zach says, my computer just froze. He did. This thing dropped out again. Gosh darn it. I missed my 2 computer setup. It is on the screen so I can read it. Like an evil. No, the next one. Read the next one. There it goes. All right. Zach says, JV, very true. Quote, the Holocaust is a bit of a downer. These boots, though. That's not right. I mean, yes, that is true, Zach. The Bavarian communities in Argentina are surreal, and in a lot of places in South America, Chile. We'll get there. I do have a quick question, and then sorry, Clifton, I haven't forgot that you're going. I want your answer about that. Anna, how far ahead are you in episodes? You said you watched a little bit ahead.
I'm just on this one, so I think I was more season 1, because I just had it playing in the background because it was so ridiculous, so I wasn't even paying attention. Whereas with this one, it's a lot more interesting. I think there's a lot more factual things, and like with the eyewitness episode that we did last week, more factual stuff being brought to the table. So you have to pay attention. You can't just go around vacuum cleaning and not listening to what's happening.
Well, vacuum cleaning aside, always keep a clean house. Seriously. So, Well, my cats hate the vacuum cleaner, so it's kind of funny. I have one, Piper, the oldest. If he sees the vacuum cleaner, he puffs up and he goes nuts. He
Yeah.
attacks it.
But oh, he attacks it. Oh,
He
okay.
attacks it. He
Nah.
doesn't do the hiss and the strike. He does the spitting hiss, which is like next level for a cat. Yeah. Um, and he's like the most easygoing, which is hilarious. So Clifton, talking about the Die Spinne and knowing that the rat lines have been something that history has kind of talked about for, I don't know, the last like 30, 40 years,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit longer. What do you kind of think about that? Do you think it's a little extreme that maybe they all kind of met here in the final days to figure things out, or
It does sound extravagant, being, them going out in full, having their full uniforms on and everything, like, and showing off. But at the same time, if there were 20,000 of them,
Yeah,
there
yeah,
were
I think so. So it was
not.
Germans, like, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're all,
Yeah.
Nazi officers.
Yeah,
because
but
that would just be so weird.
yeah, but it's like, like I could probably see it happening. Like, they were overconfident and arrogant and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So I could definitely see it happening. And yeah, with the rat lines, I mean, of course, uh I mean, that's one thing the show, I think, definitely has shown is possible, is that a lot of Nazis got out of Germany and got to these countries and got
Yeah.
out, regardless of if Hitler got out or not. And uh, something that I've asked myself, like a lot of high-ranking Nazi officials, they would have their doubles, like people that would double as them.
Yes.
Could it be possible that there were pictures taken from these doubles, or that, like with Bormann, like maybe he did die in Germany and just one of his doubles got out or something and got pictures taken, or it said, yeah, I'm Bormann or something, just to be, in the circle or something like that.
Well, from the Soviet files that were declassified back in the 90s, they actually did say that some of the stuff that they did find in the bunker were dead bodies of Hitler's doubles. There was a number of them.
Mm-hmm.
And there were documents showing that he personally, out of like 7 or 8 people, picked his top 3 and then his top 1. And obviously the rest were just...
Yeah.
So, yeah. And it happens today with some of the world leaders that we know.
Oh,
It's just considered to be almost like a conspiracy theory, but I don't see why, because if I was a world leader and I had a target on my back and I was one of the people that, probably a lot of people would want to assassinate, then sure, I'd have doubles. It's normal.
Definitely. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
Yeah, and it's one of those things too that as we alluding to Martin Bormann, let's just say there's a lot more information that comes out about that a little bit later on. I'm not going to say how or why, but Anna's reasoning kind of behind that, and then the Clifton alluded to it, it would make a lot of sense that these high-ranking individuals would would have body doubles. They would use them for certain purposes. I mean, saying that a body double could escape and try to impersonate, absolutely, or maybe that's a real person. Again, we're just it's all speculation. It's all hearsay.
Yeah.
That's kind of how mysteries and investigations get solved. You spitball with a group of people, like going, hey, what about this? Maybe what about that? And this is kind of probably one of the biggest mysteries in the history of the world is how did the most heinous people on the planet manage to, a fair amount of them, survive?
Our team has uncovered that Martin Bormann was in contact with people in Barcelona relative to this secret organization, Despina, the Spider Network.
Bob and John review the findings from Spain, where they are following a declassified Nazi document outlining a secret trip for Adolf Hitler and Martin Bormann to Barcelona days before they were believed dead.
This Despina network was set up to facilitate the exfiltration of Nazi war criminals. What really strikes me is they have this plan before the end of the war. Despina is the mother of all rat lines. It had a massive infrastructure to support the elite members of the Nazi Party. The question remains is how far did this network actually reach?
Let's find out. Look up Despina.
Well, here we have a CIA document. Eichmann was in close contact with the underground group Despina. It is believed that he also financed from his stocks this underground movement and paid for the international travel expenses of wanted war criminals. Eichmann is a new piece of this puzzle.
Adolf Eichmann was one of Hitler's closest allies and a major organizer of the Holocaust. During the war, Eichmann was responsible for facilitating the mass deportation of Jews to concentration camps throughout Europe. In 1950, he fled to Buenos Aires, Argentina, where he lived in a modest house and worked for Mercedes-Benz under the alias Ricardo Clement. In 1960, he was captured by the Israeli Mossad and sentenced to death.
If somebody like Eichmann, one of the most wanted men in the world, actually
One of the most heinous men in the history of the world.
Yeah.
Yep. There's a movie about this.
Yeah, I know. I told Ryan to watch it. He never did. You did, though.
Yeah, I did. You didn't watch it, Ryan? It's pretty good, actually.
Operation Finale.
I just want. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know.
Also, wow.
It's a really good film. It is really good. And it basically focuses a lot, which is what I like what they did. They didn't focus on Eichmann as kind of like the main guy and like him trying to run away or escape Mossad. It was more about the impact that capturing him had on the agents and how they had to deal with, you know, the protagonist, the main character, having to deal with his inner struggles of like thinking, I want to murder this guy for everything he's done to my people and to the world, to then know I need to bring him to justice. So his inner struggle prevailed over kind of talking about this horrible, despicable person who, to the very end at his trial, was basically saying, hey, I was only doing what I was told to do, which is a lot of them had that defense. Nothing to do with me. It was the other guy. I didn't know anything. And it's like, it's just disgusting. It's horrible.
Yeah, but definitely go check out the movie. Oscar Isaac is in it. Ben Kingsley. Some pretty good actors. And the acting is like, it'll make you question, you know, like listening to Ben Kingsley act, like you'll question like, oh damn, what is the truth here, right? So
yeah,
really does a good job with that. Yeah, I can actually try to put the link in the chat for, I don't know, maybe just, you know, searching Dark Waters, whatever you want to do.
And actually, in the film too, sorry to quickly just mention this, in the film too, they do go into the kind of the German community, the Nazi community in that town in Argentina where Eichmann was hiding. And they do show kind of the resurgence of like trying to reestablish and again ignite that fire to kind of, you know, restore the Reich, I guess, in the future, and like trying to recruit people and getting more younger people involved who had nothing to do with the war. So yeah, that's scary.
Yes. So just use that link at your own risk. Again, you're sailing the high seas. And that's how I do most of this stuff because quite frankly, Hollywood is anyway. It's a 2018 film. That's right. I was good. I meant to watch it, and then of course we got into some other stuff. And talking about other things. I haven't had a chance to watch it. I did watch
Yeah.
that far. The film though.
Actually got out using the web, Despina. I think we just have to consider that network was also intended for Hitler to use in his escape.
Absolutely. Everybody knows that Eichmann lived in Buenos Aires. But here we have a document that says there's rumors that Eichmann actually lived in a safe house in northern Argentina in a province called Tucumán prior to moving to Buenos Aires.
Tucumán. Tucumán, which is out in the middle of nowhere. And then you go across in an equally remote area is Misiones. We have to consider the possibility that Tucumán was simply a staging area while the compound in Misiones was being built. This compound in Misiones, very complicated. This took a lot of time and money. But in the meantime, you can't wait for Misiones to be built. You got to go to a place like Tucumán.
What I think we need to do is to get the team into Tucumán. If he had a safe house there, there's potential evidence there.
The sooner they get there, the better.
Here we go. My favorite Tim Kennedy.
Well, we're 14.
He doesn't take his shirt off, right?
I know, but there was a moment where I thought he was gonna do a Nathan Drake and like jump off a cliff. And he didn't, which was upsetting. But there's a lot of Nathan Drake and going on in this episode, which I liked.
Wait a minute.
100 miles from Buenos Aires, up in the northwest province of Argentina.
This is a whole new level of isolated.
Investigative journalist Gerard Williams and U.S. Army Special Forces Tim Kennedy make their way through the winding roads of northern Argentina.
So Eichmann manages to hold 10 years in Argentina before he's picked.
I'm sorry. Basically, Mustache Man had a lot of sleepovers. Okay, I'm good. Oh, holy cow. Andy, easy on the jokes.
That was
yeah, easy on the jokes, dude. Well, actually, I do have an applause button. Zach says Tim Kennedy rules. That's true. He really does.
Yeah, he does. He's. I have a mess. I'm like simping for him every single stream we do. So, and I'm not ashamed of it.
Never.
He lives under the name Ricardo Clement. There's no way that Adolf Eichmann on his own would have decided to come to this part of Argentina. He must have been sent here by Despina. Could this house be a safe house where people are dropped off before they're moved on? And that's what we got to go find out.
We are coming close now, guys.
Wait.
Almost there.
What?
Their local contact, Rune, has
What the hell? I actually was trying to click on this one. Too bad Airbnb wasn't a thing. Who drank my beer? I don't know who this is. Anna Mary.
I don't know who you are either, but hello and thank you for the offer.
I mean,
going back to the Airbnb thing, Andy, it's actually quite funny. That was one of the things I thought of when they actually showed the hideout that Eichmann was in. My thought was, it looks. We'll get to it. There's like something in there that made me think like somebody actually lives here. So why would I want to like live in a place where one of history's most notorious Nazis used to hide? Like, is this an Airbnb for like one of those weird people that like to stay over at like former serial killers' houses? It was weird.
I mean, could be.
There was toilet paper there on the shelf.
No,
I
know.
left like toilet paper back from the 50s and 60s in that house.
I think the guy that showed it off, that's the house he owns now, but he probably didn't realize at the time, or maybe he did, I don't know. And the house is cheap. It's like if you find out there's a house where somebody gets murked, ended, it's like going, we'll take 50,000 off the price, and you're like going, why? What happened?
Yeah.
Also, at the same time, again, who drank my beer? Anna married me. Well, if you married her, she'd probably be the one drinking your beer. So maybe don't.
Yeah, I am drinking cider.
And there it is.
Covered what could be the location of Eichmann's rumored safe house in the area.
Here we are. Creeps me out.
There's not a whole lot to chug left.
There's nothing to chug. So, sorry.
Andy says, okay, a movie idea in the making. The main characters get an Airbnb only to find Mustache Man hiding in a secret basement. It'd have to be in like the 1960s, dude. An Airbnb wasn't a thing then. Oh, actually, hold on. Movie idea. The main characters get an Airbnb. They find a weird wall in their basement. It's almost like a portal back in time. And they walk through it, and they find Mustache Man hiding in a secret basement.
No, I like Andy's version better of it just being like the 60s or something.
The Airbnb wasn't a thing in the 60s.
Well, according to the History Channel, it was.
The comments on that one's going to be funny.
Should we try to see if there's someone here?
See what we can see.
There's a dog, so somebody's got to be there.
It's locked, but it's vacant.
With the team unable to gain access to the potential safe house, they make contact with neighbor Francisco Valdez.
Do you know the family that lived in this house in the 50s?
Vino el alemán ese.
Un alemán.
El que hacía el trabajo aquí estaba con la familia.
He lived here, yes, with his family.
Does he know the name of the family?
Tiene parte del nombre
Clement.
Adolf Eichmann.
I swear, I feel like this is somebody who knows all of us and who's just messing around. Best Sunday afternoon TV. Yeah, well, I'm not going to go on. Andy Pickle, they find a portal to the inhabited part of the moon. Iron Sky. God damn it!
Yes, best documentary out there.
Oh.
It's a two-parter.
Clifton, I hate you. I'm gonna have to watch Iron Sky because it keeps getting referenced.
Also, watch Overlord. It's actually pretty good, but it's got like Nazi zombies.
Wait,
It's
Nazi zombies?
Yeah, in France. It's after D-Day, and a whole bunch of like American soldiers are in this little town, and then they get attacked by the Nazis, and then they discover there's like a secret bunker which experiments on people and turns them into zombies, and they have to kill the zombies. It's pretty funny.
Wasn't there also Nazis on dinosaurs or something like that?
Yeah, there's loads of like weird stuff, but Overlord's actually a pretty like well produced. I think it's Eli Roth. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Also, you want to hear something weird? So I saw a meme today that apparently, again, oil comes from the decomposition of dinosaurs and stuff like that. And then, of course, we make petroleum-based products, gasoline, stuff like that. So again, leading to the end of the joke, plastic dinosaurs are made from actual dinosaurs. Really? No, nobody laughed. I told it wrong.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely a thing out there that they're saying that oil is made of dinosaurs, but there are also many studies out there that say it's not. So I don't know. Sorry, I didn't laugh.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Always the best. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so fuck. I have to. So I have to watch Operation Finale, Overlord, and on top of that, Iron Sky.
And also, Jason recommends watching some Norwegian stuff with zombies
Okay.
and
Well,
Nazis.
and just what else?
Abraham Lincoln and zombies.
And also that remember I sent a link like months and months ago, Danger 5, which is an Australian comedy show about like a bunch of like 5-6 people who work for like special behind the scenes forces, and their mission every episode is to find and kill Hitler. And Hitler's like literally he has a whole army also of dinosaurs and stuff, and he like kidnaps the Eiffel Tower from France, and they're supposed to. And there's this American guy who hits a Nazi woman in the face, and she's like, "You're not supposed to hit a woman," and he's like, "Yeah, well, you're a Nazi, so that's fine." It's really funny.
What's it called?
Danger 5. It's really, really funny. Every episode is only like 25 minutes. It's an Australian production, but it's got American actors and a Russian actress.
Clifton, do you remember this one? Because I don't.
Danger 5, yeah. Anna's told me about it a couple of times.
On the show.
I'm sure.
No, months ago.
I don't know.
I posted it like months ago when we were doing Star Trek.
Oh, that's probably why.
Yeah. But anyway, going back to this episode, let's continue watching it.
All right, I see Danger 5. Yes. There's a Doctor Who episode called "Let's Kill Hitler." Doesn't surprise me.
Why was he here?
Vino una empresa y después vino él, Klemmer.
Who put him here? Who did he work for?
Era el nombre que la convenía.
Capri.
Does that ring any bells?
It's German-owned, partly Argentine-staffed company that's involved in major infrastructure projects.
In Argentina?
Yeah.
Also known as the tip of the spear, which is something that was used to refer to basically German, Nazi-based companies that actually went about the world to spread influence and cement safe havens, just in the sense of something going wrong. Also, at the same time, to recruit new soldiers, much like the Hitler Youth, who were recruited not just in Germany but around the world.
Hey, Zach, take care. Have a nice weekend.
Oh, see you, buddy. But he has beers too.
Yes, it's the weekend.
Are him and who drank my beer the same person?
Have you ever seen them together in the same room?
No, I've never actually seen them together at all. They are. Just real quick, saving that show because I want to watch that.
SS captain, except you're never a former SS anything. You are SS until you die. They run huge infrastructure projects all over the world in exactly the same way as they did for the Nazis. What was Capri doing here?
They made tunnels, he said.
Las rocas se perforaban.
And they were like cutting out in the mountains.
They're making tunnels in the mountains.
Yeah, they were making some tunnels.
Adolf Eichmann's up here tunneling into mountains. What the hell's all that about?
Do you know if these tunnels still exist?
Sí. Hay una pampa grande.
Okay.
Large valley.
Cruza el río y da hacia el frente.
Eichmann is here digging tunnels into the side of the mountains in secluded northwest Argentina. if Hitler would have come here and used this as a safe house. He would need multiple routes for evasion. Look at these mountains. Look at that view.
It's quite incredible.
Maybe these tunnels were built as an escape route. That's where I have to go next.
I feel good about Barcelona. You know, we've got documents related to it. Bormann was intimately tied to Despina.
While the team continues to investigate the Eichmann safe house in Tucumán, Argentina, Bob and John discuss the Spanish leg of their.
Hey, buddy. When
Hey,
you get home,
Boosh.
you're gonna take off that mighty fine Nacer uniform, so I'm gonna give you something you can't take off. I don't. What the fuck does that mean?
It's a quote from Inglorious Bastards.
Oh, I have not seen that in a while.
At the end, he gives Christoph Waltz his swastika on his forehead.
That's right. Yeah. He's also the guy that basically choked what's her name to death.
Yep.
Saying she was on National Treasure and
Diane Kruger.
Yeah, she was in both National Treasures, and she was one of my favorite actresses at the time. And he strangled her to death. I didn't like that. Fuck that guy. He sucks.
Both German actors.
It's true. It's very true. It's very true. He played that role so good. It was creepy how good he did. So anyway,
it's a pretty good actor, yeah.
Investigation, where a declassified Nazi document outlines a secret trip for Adolf Hitler and Martin Bormann to Barcelona, days before they were believed dead.
In Barcelona, we know there were Nazis there, and we know there's a German culture there. It was open for Hitler, but where do you go in Barcelona? You just don't show up there and walk around the streets.
Right. We need to find out which safe houses, which routes, which infrastructure was used to facilitate the fleeing war criminals. I think we need to dig into the database and see if we can find some information.
And there we go. This is coming out of an MI6 file reported on October 22nd, 1950. Bormann is without a doubt the brain behind Despina. He is known, rather ironically, as the Great Eminence because of the robes worn by the monks at his monastery hideout in Spain.
No, that is simply not true. No. Mm-mm. He was known as the Brown Eminence, which is what Hitler's inner circle called him because he chose to wear a brown uniform, unlike the rest of them. And because he was always walking around acting like the Red Cardinal, who is like doing the behind the scenes manipulation. There was no Great Eminence. He was Brown Eminence. So that is not correct. Sorry, had to say it.
Why'd you leave? Don't leave. No, I actually don't disagree with that. It was an MI6 document from, I forgot the date.
To the database and see if we can find some information.
And there we go. This is coming out of an MI6 file reported on October 22nd, 1950.
Yeah, and so what? It's an MI. All of these things that they're pulling up, like, it doesn't actually necessarily mean that they're so factually correct. Like we've seen so many times with some of the stuff that they're claiming they're pulling up from this database, which has thousands and millions of files. Somebody said something to someone. It's just like a document. But a historical fact is something that all historians agree on, and he is called brown eminence by
No,
the
no,
action.
I agree.
So
It's just
here, to say, like, he's the great eminence because it has some connection with him in monasteries. Again, it's just no, makes no sense.
Yeah.
well, the Nazis confirmed had
I
ties
know,
to
but my point, Ryan, is he was called the brown eminence solely because of his uniform and his role around Hitler during the 30s and 40s, not because of rat lines and escaping through monasteries.
Well, yeah. Again, it's a document from 1950, so it's intelligence from 1950. It's going to be well, shit. Intelligence from today that is flawed. So I'm just that's kind of what they're going off of. So they're just looking for the next place to kind of go. Maybe not necessarily. Who says it's like the code name the Secret Service calls people? Probably, yeah. But no. So it's again, it's just the next place to go. But no, Anna is right, and this is old intel.
Bormann is without a doubt the brain behind Die Spinne. He is known, rather ironically, as the Great Eminence because of the robes
In 1950,
worn by the monks at his monastery hideout in Spain. Hey, look, it's been documented totally that the Vatican helped the Nazis. So, I mean, we are within the parameters of reality here.
After World War II, an intricate system of escape routes throughout Spain known as the Rat Lines were established to help Nazi war criminals flee Europe. According to a 1947 American embassy memo, these rat lines were allegedly supported by the Catholic Church by providing false documentation and places of refuge at local monasteries.
I would like to add to this because again, it was because at the time the Soviets didn't care for Catholicism.
Mhm.
Not saying that the Catholic Church was right. It was very wrong.
And when you say the Soviets, you mean the state, not the people.
Yes,
the
the
people
state,
did.
not the people.
Yeah.
Yes. So, and again, I would actually kind of lean towards the fact too. The Vatican is a religious state. Is not just the people are different, if that makes sense, because Vatican City is its own state inside of a country that, quite frankly, it's a mess. But we're not going to go there. Maybe another documentary.
Now, the question is which monastery? We've got hundreds of them around Barcelona, but which one would he go to?
Well, let's see if we can find an answer to that. Look at this. It's coming from the Federal Minister of Justice, West Germany. And it goes on to say, Martin Bormann is living in the St. Benedict Monastery at Montserrat, near Barcelona, where he found sanctuary with the Vatican's consent.
It also says it was July 1960. This is from the German intelligence. So,
Yeah, but again, these are documents. Somebody said something, or I heard this because we saw this before with I don't remember what particular, whether it was Hitler escaping via submarine. They also had somebody went and actually saw Hitler, and it was an agent for the MI6. And like, again, and people claiming to be agents. It could just be a transcript of, oh, I heard somebody talking of this. Because a lot of it's redacted anyway. So you don't know what's being said in the rest of the document.
Monastery at Montserrat.
true. Clifton, would you like to, again, this is not to try to refute Anna, it's just to just read what we see word for word.
Vor der Presseagentur UPI. Yeah, so in front of the press agency UPI on 15th July 1960 folgende Meldung verbreitet worden. They're saying like this is the Meldung. Brain work. It's an easy word, Clifton. Just it's a report that is being presented right there.
Okay, and quite frankly, you know what? I think that I think instead of just taking them at face value, because you guys speak multiple languages, I don't. These reports, I would actually prefer your damn it with the computer. What's it doing? I would prefer your guys' interpretation over the rest of it. What the show says, and you guys kind of like confirm that. I think that would be better. So that's
Well, I
just
think
my.
it's also just common sense that not every single intelligence document is literally like empirical evidence that Borman was living in Spain, because an intelligence document could be, again, I was sitting in a cafe, my informant told me that there's a lead that maybe Borman is living in this house. And that you're just and then that person goes to his agency and says, like, we have a lead, the Borman, but here they're not the actual document. Bob Baer is the one who's saying that he was living in Spain. That is not factually correct. It has not been proven whatsoever. So why is he again presenting it as though it's a fact from a redacted document that they show for like 3 seconds?
Yeah.
No.
Well, yeah, no, I definitely So again, it's he's retired. It's sensationalized.
Yeah.
And of course, the redaction thing is kind of it's meant to be exciting. Like, oh, it was all redacted, and all of a sudden, like they're uncovering it. It's like, yeah.
Well, Boosh, I absolutely agree with you. And like Ryan said, it is sensationalized. It is the History Channel. But also in this season, there's a lot of more factual stuff. Again, like we were saying, that is interesting. But in this situation, all you had to do is say, look, we have access to all of these intelligence documents, but we both know how intelligence works. You don't always believe what's written in these documents. Just to, again, give this to the audience. And maybe he did, and they just cut it. I don't know, but don't present it as history book factual, because from what I have read and known, I've never heard of him living in Spain. Never.
No, but I think it's as we've said, it's definitely just for the show to get people hyped up for whatever's happening next, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like if he was, I mean, I'm not saying like they're not actually trying to check these things out, because they go and they go and research it, so that's a good thing. But like the language that he would probably use if it wasn't for a show would definitely be more in the realm of, all right, this is a snippet that we have from this, but they wouldn't present it as a historical fact, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and Andy's right. Unfortunately, Ryan has stepped away, so can't pull your comment up. But having a running disclaimer and commentary would be a logistical mess. Maybe he should air quote his statements. Yeah, it would be a logistical mess, but like I said, just in one sentence, we have all of this access to all of these intelligence documents. But again, because like, dude, you're former intelligence, do you believe everything that you've ever read? No, sometimes there's errors, and so we need to still be skeptical. Just having that one sentence, not like Martin Bormann is in Spain, he was living in Spain, document says so. No.
Yeah, exactly.
And not only is he living in Spain, he's attending the theater galas dressed in his brown eminence uniform with 20,000 other Nazis.
Well, according to the facts in the show, he was wearing gray.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
My apologies. I had to use the restroom facilities. It's been 2 hours. So, yeah. Okay, so real quick, Andy asked this question. Anna, would you like it if the show was more of a skeptic? I would actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would.
I would actually like that,
I
yeah.
think starting with the premise of like you have to start with the premise like what if he escaped and then go like based on like let's look at this lead but like come on this is ridiculous and then maybe that would be more exciting for the audience when they do actually find something which when they did in this episode and I was like whoa this is actually really cool.
Yeah, definitely.
So I would just like to say too that look, you know, this is again it's a docu-series. It's meant to be somewhat factual, somewhat dramatic. Anna comes from a journalist background, so she's used to asking questions like journalists used to do, instead of just believing everything that's in today's world. So no, her skepticism is very good, especially when you come into a situation like even as an investigator in law enforcement or anything like that, you need to come in asking questions, not actually saying, "Okay, well, that guy looks guilty. Let's get him." That's not how you do that.
Yeah.
That's a
No pun intended, but do not have tunnel vision.
yes, 100%.
Definitely.
But also bring your flashlight for the tunnel.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna get back to this. We have 20 minutes left, and it's
Right.
only been 2 hours.
I'm watching.
Oh no! What happened? Oh, that's right. There was a free. God, I'll be on my old. I'll be on the other setup next week. Sorry, guys. My bad. Wi-Fi and Wi-Fi. Always a pleasure.
This you got Barcelona here, right on the coast, and then you go up to here is Montserrat.
Montserrat is approximately 25 miles from Barcelona.
You are really in the mountains here. We need to know whether Montserrat, this particular monastery, had any Nazi connection. Number two is, can you actually hide out there? I mean, was there a place that he would feel comfortable and safe?
Agreed. Next stop is Montserrat.
Well, this is spectacular scenery, isn't it?
It's beautiful. James Holland and Mike Simpson head for the Montserrat Monastery, deep in the mountains, an hour's drive from Barcelona.
And it's amazing after the hubbub of Barcelona.
Real quick, just for the record, 25 miles outside of Barcelona, and it's an hour drive. That is some twisting and turning and winding roads.
Oh yeah.
So
definitely.
Again, also at the same time, Europe is known for their winding roads. So it's not like, when as an American would think in, I don't know, Kansas, oh, it's 25 miles. I'm doing 80 miles an hour. I can clear that in like, I don't know, 28 minutes, 30 minutes. No, it's not like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. The States, they have just straight roads. There's no curves in there.
Yeah.
But I believe like the way up and down this mountain is they use that for races, don't they? Like I think I've seen the monastery in a few races before.
I think it's in one of the Gran Turismo games, which is probably the most prominent racing simulator ever. Andy says, "Oh, Anna's listening. The sky is blue. Anna, why? Because of light refraction. Anna, why? Because of the pristine of light and how the wavelength extend to Anna. Why? Because I said so. She said exactly, Andy.
Yeah, I had to go through a road today in the countryside, which is like England's famous for having very narrow roads and streets. And it was 30 miles, and there was this Amazon delivery driving truck. He was going maybe 80, and there was a curve, and he just literally swerved on the side like that. And I was like, shit. And I mean, 30 is usually the norm, even in the country.
So you do have a car.
I mean, again, I didn't say I was driving.
Oh, okay.
I said
Well, I mean, I okay, well, that sounds terrible. I just look as somebody who lives in a country where having a car is a very normal thing. To you get your driver's license at well, it was 16, now it's 18 thing. Uh, from where you guys come from, is getting a car a prominent thing, or is it more using public transit? Because I've heard you both talk about public transit. Anna has a driver. Is she rich?
Guys, I'm an admiral. I don't drive myself. I
Oh,
fly
don't
my
do
own planes, but I don't actually. No, yeah. It's not really a matter of that you can't. It's just easier to use public transport. It's cheaper, plus with insurance and everything. But because I live in one of the biggest cities in Europe, it's only something like if you really need to get somewhere remote, then you will drive, rent, or get a friend or somebody to do it, or a family member.
Yeah, even in a smaller town here in Germany, like every town in Germany has a store, and the train connection is a lot, train and bus connection is a lot more prevalent here in Germany than it is in the States. Like I totally get you. Like when I lived in Missouri, there's no, you don't go shopping without a car. You need you need a car, right? And just here you don't need one necessarily.
Yeah, I definitely don't need one because everything, like the cinema's 5 minutes away, massive supermarkets 10 minutes, not even 10, 2 minutes away. Everything's here, so you don't really need to. And if you want to go into central London, the city, to go and like watch a play or a musical, or go, to a really nice steak place or something, you could just hop on the train.
I mean, Boosh, I'm not entirely sure. Other than that, in Germany, the trains in the last 5 years have never been on time once. Other than that, I don't know why you wouldn't take the train in Germany.
Oh no. Good joke.
Is there a joke there that I don't get?
Yeah, like, trains from Germany went where with the topic we're discussing?
Oh, wow. Holy shit. Boo. Boo.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, the show.
I mean, if you're not taking the train, east, it's fine, right?
Yeah.
You know what? I'll just drive. I'm a good driver. Let's do that.
Suddenly you're so kind of remote, aren't you?
On the drive up, I think tactical advantage right off the bat.
One road alone provides access. Very easy to control.
Look at that.
That's huge.
That's such an amazing view. The monastery was absolutely stunning. These beautiful mountains, strange rock formations, and there's this Benedictine monastery kind of sort of tucked away beneath this kind of rock face, a Nazi war criminal would want somewhere discreet, out of the way, and very well protected. Frankly, he couldn't ask for a better place.
Hola, padre. Me llamo Mike. Mi colega James.
The team makes contact with Friar Hilary Reguer, the monastery's historian.
Padre, con permiso, específicamente tenemos interés en la época de la Segunda Guerra Mundial.
1940 visitó Montserrat Himmler.
¿Otra vez?
Himmler.
Himmler is one of the absolute top Nazis. He is the head of the SS. He's incredibly important. Why would he come here?
Lo que le interesa es la montaña.
Himmler said to one of the monks, "We want to see the mountain. We're interested in the mountain." ¿Qué tienen de interés las montañas?
Leyenda de que la montaña está hueca, que era como un refugio. Y después algunas cuevas hay. Las más importantes están...
Con permiso. Dice, ¿cuevas?
Cuevas.
Hay cuevas acá.
Unas grandes cuevas, muy extensas y profundas.
Con mucho espacio.
Sí, sí.
These are extensive.
Very extensive.
Before the Nazis would have fully committed to using this site, they would have had to do what's known as a site survey and assess the value of this site. Normally, this could have been performed by any mid-level military officer, but in this case, it was Himmler himself. That tells me that this place was very important.
Look at this.
Yeah, we're there.
Gosh, look at this.
Look at that.
That's pretty big, isn't it?
When he said expansive, he really, really meant expansive.
If you're in Spain and the war's over, the monastery itself
Would have been a perfect location
to keep people on a temporary basis. And now, added bonus of these caves. Wow.
Well, you could easily hide someone in here, couldn't you?
There literally could not be a better spot to hide safely away from the eyes and ears of your enemies.
Hi, Tim's
You
top.
want to have that out.
Hey, Tim.
Hail
Hydra!
That's what I thought too. I was like, damn. Yep.
Yeah.
I was just imagining all of these like Nazi scientists with all of their like equipment working on like an evil Captain America in the mountains. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. It's again, I don't get it. So what? They're gonna hide in the mountain and what? Barrack? Like, what is this? Fallout 1945? They're just gonna like close the door. Their own vault dwelling population.
Yeah. I think, for here, it's just basically escape. Like, if someone would come by to check out, like, hey, are there any Nazis here? They can hide out there or something. Other than that, I don't
know. Again, like I'm not trying to be difficult, but I'm just raising the thoughts that are coming into my head as we speak live. Yeah. I'm thinking of amazing theater, extravagant, expansive, beautiful design, 20,000 Nazis in uniforms headed by Martin Bormann having a cocktail party in this place, and then a bunch of dudes like Himmler hiding in the mountain.
Yeah.
Like, no, it just doesn't compute.
Yeah. It's like, on one hand, definitely out in the open, not hiding, not scared. And then, I get it.
So,
but
don't have an answer.
Maybe the mountainous, this thing was more for not escaping, but hiding, like artifacts, like they did in Argentina, hiding things in the mountain, maybe time machines or something, or
Die Glocke.
Yeah.
Time travel.
The Nazi bell. Okay, so here's my take. What was done before was done before the end of the war, right? Everybody's flashy, everybody's doing things. And again, the Catholic Church, it has been confirmed, fact, the Catholic Church helped the Nazis escape.
Yep.
So, and again, I'm, as somebody who has seen this whole entire series 3 times, there's going to be a lot more to be revealed.
Okay.
So yes, this is something that is very, very. It's not just possible; it's actually factual because there are records, and you're going to see them in upcoming episodes. I hate to reveal the lead, but it just needs to be said, dude.
No, don't reveal anything.
I
Yeah.
didn't reveal shit.
Yeah. So don't. Let's continue.
Why did you leave?
I'm not leaving. I'm here. Just want to continue watching.
You're good. It's not, she's like, we're spelunking. No, but it is true that these caves do exist, and this monastery is huge. It's the size of a military base, this monastery.
In Tucumán, Argentina.
He said this direction, but it's vague.
Tim Kennedy investigates the area surrounding Adolf Eichmann's safe house in search of rumored tunnels that could be connected to Die Spinne, an organization to support the escape of the highest-ranking Nazi war criminals, as reported by a declassified CIA file.
When I heard the Nazis were in the mountains digging tunnels, immediately, especially considering that this could be a safe house, I'm thinking of escape routes. I need to get inside of these tunnels, and I need to really try to discern what they were doing here.
While Tim scouts the mountain for a tunnel entrance,
You found the key? Oh, good stuff.
Here we go.
Okay, muchas gracias.
Gerard Williams gains access to the interior of Eichmann's safe house.
Here we are, in a kitchen where the man who facilitated the deaths, industrial mass murder of close to 11 million people, would make his morning coffee. And that's chilling. Even if he was only here for a couple of years, I still find it chilling. Ugh, don't want to stay in here.
The old man said that the tunnel entrance was in the valley.
Oh, here we go. I thought he was going to jump off that cliff.
Did you think, or were you hoping?
That would have been cool. If there was like some sort of like body of water, river or something down below, and he just like do a Pocahontas, dive in.
I can see something. Oh, we might have something right here. Holy. We got a tunnel. I have no idea what's back there.
Have you noticed, and I think Clifton, you pointed this out, was it last week? He is starting to swear quite a bit compared to the first season.
Yeah.
I'm like,
He does.
He is swearing a lot. I don't know what's going on with him, but
I'd call it creative liberty because military guys swear a lot.
You don't.
Not around you. I mean, all right. You laugh. Pocahontas? You're such a girl. Doing a Peter Pan like from the future. He's so excited, and he knows the cave is there.
Yeah. I kind of I knew the cave was there before he did.
Yeah.
Could be treacherous in there, truly dangerous.
Jim's going in.
Tunnels, there's pockets of gases that we can't control. Some of those are toxic, but I have to find out where it goes.
Oh, watch out.
I brought a self-contained breathing apparatus.
Yeah. That's smart, actually.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
The only thing that I question is the cameraman wearing one too?
Yeah.
I would
He'd
hope
have-
so. Like, you cameraman, you get to go in without a mask.
Yeah, because they had that I don't remember which episode it was. I think it was last season where he had to like, was it Tim or whoever was like crawling through this like little tunnel, and he was like, oh my god, and the cameraman was completely silent, didn't say anything, was there even before him.
Yeah.
And we even mentioned like, god, camera guys, much respect, especially the ones working for History Channel.
Yeah.
Andy, no, he doesn't have man boobs. I don't know what I mean, unless you're talking about the fact that he could probably bench press a truck. Like, dude, you gotta let that one go. Seriously. Yeah. Quite frankly, don't judge people unless you can actually, equate.
I think he's a man and he's got a chest, and on the chest he has things, so which are called boobs. So he kind of does have man boobs. Just not the bad kind. But anyway.
No, man boobs is a bad thing. Women have boobs. Men have pecs.
They are chesticles, yes. Exactly.
Those are toxic, but I have to find out where it goes. I brought a self-contained breathing apparatus with me. I need enough air that I at least know I can get in and out. I'm the lead. You guys stay behind me.
Wait, what? Oh, never mind. Sorry. Mm-mm.
I've got a couple of chambers. They're cutting off multiple tunnels. All right, we have at this intersection right here. You can see, right here, look at these archways. And this is a corridor. This was planned. This was built specifically for the movement of people. Massive tunnel system.
Roughly 200 meters from the mountain base entrance, Tim runs into an intersection leading to 3 distinct man-made pathways.
Tunnels like this, going straight into bedrock, that takes time, that takes money, that takes backing. If these tunnels were built as an escape route, they did it well.
Andy, you're on fire today. Oh my goodness.
Definitely, yes.
That's what I thought too, but he's standing up and he's like what, 6 foot something, so
Tim Kennedy is actually 6'1".
yeah. So and he's standing, he's not crouching at least. So whoever built these tunnels, but in the beginning it did look like it was for little folks from the Shire or something, or Moria.
Not the Shire.
That was a very weird Irish accent, but yes, no, he's standing straight up, so they're normal sized tight tunnels, which again is strange. But one thing that he did say, which I caught on to, is at first watching the episode, I was like, What does he mean he has enough to get in and out? Is he talking of like going in halfway and then not knowing what's gonna be there and having enough to come back out? Or now it all makes sense why he said that.
Why?
Because they probably did a drone survey of that geographical location and they saw that there's an entrance and an exit. And would he have enough oxygen, not really knowing what the plan of the tunnels is to get from point A to point B? That's why.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It feeds meaty. Because they already know Ryan.
Yeah, because they did know. Come on. They're not going to send one of their biggest assets and money making people to just go in blindly with an oxygen mask with potentially toxic gases without knowing. No, they're not that insane.
Yeah, I wouldn't think they would be.
It's very true. In a sense. It's
Mm-hmm.
an educated guess. And quite frankly, anybody who signs on the dotted line to be in the military, you're expendable. Your life expectancy is literally a guess. So yeah. Wait, what?
Yeah, it
Right.
is nuts. Yeah. So
True, true, very true. All right.
And we're a few hundred meters from that intersection. You know, maybe 400 or 500 meters from the entrance. And we still don't even have a way out. Oh, I see some light up there. It looks like it's filled in. Oh, we're gonna have to switch back. We won't be able to go much further. It's starting to smell bad. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm gonna go much further like this. Man, I'm gonna put my mask on. I don't go any further breathing this air. This is a complex tunnel system. You're trying to track a fugitive that's evading you, and he runs to that tunnel, and you try to follow him. That's dangerous.
Looks like we reached the end of this chamber.
I have tunnels that are dropping off. I have tunnels that are going to dead ends. If you don't know where you're going through that tunnel, you could be lost. Watch your footing right here. Slow down. Just go straight down. But right here, we got an opening. Whoa. We have an entrance near the Eichmann house and an exit on the opposite side of the mountain at a lower elevation by the water. That's an escape tunnel. You know, I came here to find evidence of infrastructure. We found it. That's what this is.
Well, we sent the team up to Tucumán looking for this potential safe house Eichmann was supposed to have lived in, and they learned Eichmann was working for a company called Capri, and that they were digging tunnels through a mountain. And the team was able to go through the tunnel. What do they find on the other side of that mountain? An opening that goes down.
Mm-hmm.
Underground, clearly Eichmann intended to make an escape route. So while Misiones is being constructed, Tucumán could be the perfect staging area for Hitler. Let's go back to Barcelona.
Bob and John discussed the other leg of their investigation in Barcelona, Spain.
You certainly had the possibility of hiding out in the mountains and like these caves, the monastery. Himmler was at this monastery. He would have known about it. They're Nazis.
We determined that Barcelona's interesting for a safe house and for meetings, but for Hitler to escape He needs to get out of Spain and go to South America. What is the point of exit or egress from Spain? That's where we have to go. Find the most likely place for that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's, look, we looked at Vigo was a possibility.
The activity of the U-boats here in Vigo was enormous. At the end of the war and after the end of the Second World War.
But you simply can't narrow it down to one particular base. I mean, what if in the meantime you're in Vigo and there was an American battleship parked off the coast? You have to have multiple exit routes. You have to, in the middle of a plan, be able to alternate. You do not have one exit. You have to have a second exit and a third and a fourth. You're always worried about an ambush.
If Vigo is plan A or plan B, what's plan C or plan D?
I think we should, start getting the documents and look and see if there are any other U-boat bases and whether they were active in May.
Yeah, Boosh. That is very
U-boat,
true, but also
Spain.
Himmler.
All right, we've got something here.
Okay,
Now
Brian is not able to. Oh, you are able to. Thank you. But also, Himmler was ultimately caught. So
Yeah.
and he didn't actually escape to South America.
From what I understood, like he went there still during the war to check that out, right?
Yeah, it was 1940 when he went.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, so he actually did. I think one of the versions, the official version, is cyanide pill, right? When he was captured by the Allies.
Sounds familiar, yes.
Yeah. He was being interrogated by the British, and then he had like a stomach issue or something, and said that he needed to go use the toilet, and then they found him in the other room, dead, well, convulsing, and then he died. But yeah, he was definitely not an athlete, more of a politician, even though he did like to take his shirt off and run around in his, sports shorts to show, because obviously all of the top Reich men in charge were exactly the epitome physically of what they were preaching to the rest of Germany. All of them were extremely athletic, blonde, blue-eyed, and very chiseled and handsome. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, not even close. Okay, I missed a few chats, but quite frankly, now just covered them.
Declassified Argentinian intelligence document. We see here that Ludwig Freud, an agent of the Third Reich, stated that on 7 February 1945, a U-boat brought to Argentina huge funds to help in the reconstruction of the Nazi Empire, having sailed from Cadiz, Spain.
They're saying money here, but just as easily you could have been putting people on a U-boat out of Cadiz.
Yeah. What's going on in the Gulf of Cadiz? We're no longer in the Mediterranean. It gives a clear shot to the Atlantic.
Yeah, that's the only other way out.
Question is, though, are there any U-boat bases here?
You find me a U-boat dock here, and I'll be very happy.
That'll make two of us.
Yeah, look at all these bunkers, Mike.
Yeah, look at this.
There's lots of them.
Here.
Lots and lots.
In the
I like this team. I think this is my favorite team, not even the Tim Kennedy team.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I really like this English historian compared to the cocky, arrogant, rude, other fat Brit dude who always like, oh my god, I have the unique opportunity to be in a house, the Airbnb that was rented by Eichmann, and I'm like, I don't even want to stay in this room. Oh, it's making me feel weird. Like, whatever. As a historian, you shouldn't know. Whereas this guy is very down to earth, very compassionate, very nice, has a lot of knowledge as well, and I relate with him more as the audience. I like him.
It's good.
Yeah.
So that's a pillbox.
Mm-hmm.
The giant defensive concrete bunker.
Yeah.
Province of Cadiz, Spain.
That's amazing.
James Holland and Mike Simpson are joined by local historian Alfonso Escuadra.
Go from down on the ground, you don't really realize how important it is. This is a maritime choke point, so you control access in and out of the Mediterranean from right here.
But what I'm really intrigued to know, Alfonso, is how much of a foothold have the Nazis got here during World War II?
Un potente punto de apoyo de suministro a los submarinos de Alemania en el puerto de Cádiz.
It's documented that Cádiz port was home port for supplies for U-boats.
Really?
Yeah.
Sí, bueno, en una foto no se ve muy definido, pero sí se ven ciertas siluetas de un tipo de submarino en el puerto de Cádiz.
Amazing. This is huge. We have photographic evidence of a German U-boat in the port of Cadiz. That means that Hitler could have had a support network operating in the area as well as bases to service U-boats. That's what we need to find out, where exactly these locations are and to what extent they were used. Do you know of any place that might have been used as a clandestine base for the U-boats?
No.
No, it doesn't.
Can you think of anybody who might have more information about U-boats and about their operation in the area?
Liana Romero.
There is a lady in the area. Her name is Liana Romero.
Bush says no one would have realized that. Literally everyone with an IQ over room temperature would realize it's a choke point. No, are you serious with this? Most normal people go about their lives, dude. Like, come on, man. That, like, are you trying to like do the whole? Well, all right, whatever, dude. Explain and
What?
so Bush says no one would realize that. Literally everyone with an IQ over room temperature would.
Well, I mean, it kind of doesn't make sense in the context of the topic that we're discussing.
No, it doesn't. Because most people don't understand military tactics. That's anyone who knows what a choke point is knows that's a choke point. Can you describe a choke point?
I don't know. I didn't think of it until they said it. So, but I also didn't really. I was paying more attention to not really like listening to that side of things at that point.
Dude,
as soon as they said it, I was like, yeah, I mean, that makes total sense.
Dude, it has been known in the entire Mediterranean since ancient Greece. Well, describe a choke point, and I'll tell you if you're right. Because it has real world applications in a doorway with a seat. So seriously, dude, like going that's kind of a dick move. Like you're being condescending. I don't like it.
No, I don't think Andy is. He's just
I'm
expressing
not
it.
saying any it's just on my finger. A narrow lane. It's more than that, dude.
No, I don't think he was being condescending. I was just pointing it out. Like, yeah, no, it's whatever. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Jabbar, the connection between Spain and is it Morocco, right? It's not wide, like to the ocean and the Mediterranean Sea. So I mean, yeah, that's where all the ships will come together at once, and have to pass through this thin area that is easy to control or check. Yeah, so I mean,
Yeah, makes sense. And I do agree with that too. Sometimes it does feel a little condescending the way that they talk to the audience, but we've already established that.
Yeah.
Her mother was collaborating with Germans, and she lives around here.
Well, we should definitely try and talk to her. This is looking quite tasty.
This looks like the place. In the province of Cadiz, in southern Spain, James Holland and Mike Simpson are investigating a declassified Argentinian document that reports German U-boats were sailing from this area to Argentina in the final months of the war.
Mm-hmm.
German U-boats were operating in Cadiz, but we still don't have an exact location yet. We're definitely in the right area, but that's what we need to pin down.
In search of a possible location that Hitler could have used to load onto a U-boat in Cadiz, the team arrives at the home of Liana Romero, whose mother was rumored to be connected to Germans in the area.
We've been told that your mother had a very interesting time here during World War II.
Well, that is true. She worked for the Germans. I can tell you that she escaped from Russia when she was 10 years old.
Oh, really? So she was Russian?
See, she has a very close friend that one day proposed her to join the Bauer. And she said, that way I will help with the invasion of Russia and finish with the communists.
So she signed up as an agent for the Abwehr.
Correct.
Which is the German Secret Intelligence Service.
Yeah.
And in what year?
41.
And what was it specifically that your mother was doing for Nazi Germany?
Spying. Spying mainly on the Gibraltar area. My mother gave the information of the ships that were coming and anchoring there.
Did your mother keep anything from her years as an operative? Did she keep?
I think this is one of my favorite parts of the episode. I think it's a really interesting story. It's very credible, also with what we're about to see too. And I mean, when I first heard this, I was like, God damn, woman, like, why would you do that? But then again, it's an interesting twist. Like, we're hunting the Nazis, and here we have the daughter of one of the also somebody who actually came from Russia, and joined them, being a spy in this kind of like femme fatale. Again, it's almost like out of a film.
Yeah.
So definitely, yeah. I loved the whole, and it's not fictional. It's true. So anyway.
You're supposed to have to leave.
I'm not leaving. I get excited and I'm like, I want to watch it.
Okay, here we go.
Any communiques or notebooks or anything like that we could take a look at?
I have things.
Liana's mother was placed in the time period that I am interested in and in the exact location that I am interested in. But we need an actual point that you could put a high-value target, such as Adolf Hitler, onto a U-boat.
So this is your mother?
See, Larissa.
So striking, isn't she?
Larissa, that was the name of my aunt.
Hearts.
That was that kind of nom de guerre, was it?
See, and this is the camera.
Gosh.
Oh my God, that is so cool. Like, you have to show the camera. When I first saw it, I was like, this is some World War II James Bond stuff.
Oh, yeah. Same.
Yeah, no, I will. Who says Anna is getting a romance?
Yeah, by the History Channel right now.
And I mean, she got a wedding proposal earlier.
That's
true. A marriage proposal from somebody who I also agree. I think someone from our circle we all know being a little creep, but I don't know who it is.
Yeah. Clifton, what do you think about marriage proposals, stuff like that, in Nazi Germany?
In Nazi Germany, I have no idea about this.
Dude, I'm kidding.
Just tiny.
The camera.
Minox camera. I'm familiar with these. Minox is a German company, and these were great because they could focus not only on documents, but
You could also take pictures of objects, a ship going by or something like that. This is basically the original spy camera. Really, this is the first time I've seen one outside of a museum.
Imagine the stories attached to this little piece of metal. Here is the big treasure.
Permíteme?
See, she used this.
So what we're looking at here, James, this is an Astra 400 9mm pistol. These were manufactured here in Spain, late 30s, early 40s. Oddly enough, most of these were actually exported.
Right.
And guess where they were exported to?
I don't know.
Germany. This was a very preferred Luftwaffe sidearm. These fit perfectly with everything I know about the trade craft. It was exactly what spies at that time used, and makes the fact that Liana's mother was a Nazi spy very reliable indeed.
So, Liana, was there anyone here that your mother became acquainted with or knew who had contact with the highest Nazis?
Yeah. His name was Luis Gurruchaga. He was a doctor in Dachau and Auschwitz.
Really? He was a camp doctor. And he was a German?
He was a German, but posed as a Spanish doctor from San Sebastian.
Okay.
Do you have any specific knowledge or even just rumors of him helping German officials who were fleeing?
Not that I know.
James and I are looking for specifically someplace that could facilitate U-boats. Is there anything you might be aware of?
Well, this hotel called Reina Cristina.
Reina Cristina.
Reina Cristina, that was a landing spot for the submarines in this area.
It's still there?
It's still there. You can go there. That was the in place for all the spies.
We're in
Oh, I
Cadiz
like
specifically
this.
to find a
The way it's
location that Hitler
developing.
could have used.
Yeah. Now we have a super cool hotel where all the spies, all the Nazi spies met. I like it.
This part of the episode was really good. I liked it.
Yeah, then again, you know what? I thought of like the place where my dad, when he visited Moscow a couple of days ago, and he bought this Pilotka. You can go and buy all of this memorabilia from the Second World War, and I can sit there too and pretend like this belonged to somebody I knew.
True. Yep.
You can't build a hotel on top of a U-boat docking point, though. Just saying.
I don't think it's on top of the docking point. I think it's next to it, which makes sense because, like, for instance, a little town like Barrow-in-Furness, which is up northwest of England, it's known for BAE systems, which make our nukes and nuclear submarines. And usually all the sailors, when they come in, there's a hotel and a pub bar, which is really famous for where they go. And it's like right next to it.
Yeah.
So kind of does make sense.
So the Germans did it better.
Well, the Spanish, yes, in this case.
Oh, my apologies, the Spanish. I'm just poking around. Again, I've seen ahead, so this is not my show. It's the others. So that being said, we are literally have
Drive through for submarines. Yeah, exactly.
Used as a U-boat exfiltration point. And now we have a hotel crawling with spies. We have to investigate this.
Next time on Hunting Hitler.
I can see why you would have so many spies here.
That's a beautiful hotel.
Yeah.
That's like a 5-star hotel. It's beautiful.
So the question is, where does that go? Wow. I was not expecting this at all.
Fue muy secreta la entrevista con Perón.
If Hitler and Bormann were planning a Fourth Reich, they're going to have munition factories just like this.
It's clear that a Fourth Reich was planned.
Now we just need to find the brain, the headquarters for the Fourth Reich. Look at this.
If they were making explosives here, whenever they stopped, doesn't look like they started cleaning up. Analyze an explosive test card. Holy
Yep. that
Holy
whole
shit.
that hole did look like it was filled with holy shit.
Definitely.
Yeah, but no, it's getting a lot more interesting. Like I'm actually looking forward to the next episode, and the further the series, even with all of its sort of like weak points and things that actually I enjoy being skeptical. I enjoy having something thrown at me and asking questions. Like I find enjoyment, and maybe it will make me research things more or go into refreshing my memory of that part of history more. So, or like watching a film and then sharing our thoughts about it, you know? So definitely now it's getting a little bit more momentum, which I do like.
Oh yeah, I agree. It's interesting. I like this episode.
Ryan?
No, I very much liked the episode. Sorry, I was messing with Piper. It was being, So anyway, Mr. Clifton 3D, what you got coming up there, buddy?
Let me think. Tomorrow is Interculture. Then again on Friday Night Rumble, and I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Like, not anything in my head. If something comes up, I'll definitely let everyone know.
Cool.
Outstanding. And of course, Admiral Anna, always a pleasure.
Pleasure too. So again, catch me back here on Hunting Mustache Melon and with these two awesome gentlemen next week. And all you guys in chat and girls, really appreciate you being here. And then Insert Culture with Clifton, Ronan, and Brendan. I'm gonna talk about a lot of weird stuff tomorrow, so you better check it out.
Cool.
Things that a lot of the current this week's YouTubers have not been talking about.
All right.
Yeah, we'll get into it.
Oh, and then Thursday, I don't know if it's happening today. But yes, reality based. I keep missing it because of like work stuff and stuff. But yeah, thank you everyone for stopping by. Kathy, Andy, Boosh, Jacob, CLS, everyone who I missed. Really appreciate you.
Yeah, definitely.
Celebrate?
No.
No, I'm playing it. That being said, lastly and certainly not least, yeah, just nobody cares about. We're doing House of the Dragon tomorrow night, and again, Wednesday night is overbooked on Wednesday. The name. So we will see you all. Andy Pickle says JV. I don't know.
Yeah, I missed JV.
Yeah, JV was here too.
And to Jason. And look, we can mention everyone, but the main thing is everybody's as important as the other person. So thank you.
Yeah, he's not on the panel, so I don't care. He has his own shows. Fuck him. I'm kidding. He says Toodle.